Hi everybody. So we're here with lesson 18 homework. This is on page 161 and we are using inches and centimeters to measure. So remember that an inch is much larger than a centimeter. So when I am measuring something with an inch, there are going to be fewer inches that fit than centimeters. A lot of centimeters can fit across this line, 5 of them in fact, but only 2 of my inches. These are very different in size, so we need to be very careful as we're looking at our work today, making sure we read our directions and our labels carefully so we don't get them mixed up. So on your ruler, one side has numbers from 1 up to 30, and there are these very small units. Those are the centimeters. The other side has numbers that go up to 12, and these are bigger units. There's more space between the numbers. These are the inches. We are going to start measuring each of our lines with our centimeter side. We want the side of the ruler that goes to 30 with these small units. So in order for me to measure this line, I am lining up that beginning line, that 0 mark, with the end of my line. And I'm going to come all the way down here then to the end, and I can see that it is right about 15 centimeters. We are going to round today, which means we are going to say that it is whichever one it's closest to, if it is between 2 numbers. So I started with my centimeters. I'm going to turn my ruler over. Same thing, I line up the end of my ruler with the end of the line, and I'm going to go all the way down here to the end. Okay, so you can see it's not quite 6 inches. It's very close though, and it's much closer to 6 than it is to 5. So we are going to say it is about 6 inches. We're going to do the same with each of these. If you would like to, when you feel comfortable, go ahead and pause your camera, your video, and measure on your own, and then turn it back on to check. See if you got the same answer I did. Measuring first, of course, with my small centimeters. I have about 10. Turning it over to look at my inches, lining up. It's right about 4. So it's really important to line it up with the end and not this end. If I measure like this, I think this line is about 8 inches long. That's not right. We have to start with 0 in order to measure it correctly. If I'm measuring just right in the middle of my ruler, oh, it's 7 inches long. No, it's not. It's 4. It's important that we start from 0. So if you haven't yet, pause, measure on your own, and then turn it back on to check your work. This one really is in the middle, but it is closer to 8 than 7. So I am going to put 8 centimeters. Right on the end there. Ooh, look at that. 3. Is that what you got too? Pause and measure. Press play when you're ready to check. Lined up at this end. Again, it's closer to 13 than it is to 12. This longer line in the middle, that's the halfway. So it is closer to 13. I can round up to 13 centimeters. turning it over for my inches, 5. I'm going to go to the second page. Now, we are going to draw lines instead of measuring them. I need to draw a line that is 5 what? Centimeters in length. It's important that we keep track of which unit we are using. And here we're going to use 5 centimeters. So I'm lining it up with that end line again. That's where I'm going to start drawing my line. And I'm going to draw holding my ruler still up until I get to that 5. Now draw a line that is 5 inches. So I'm turning it over. And again, I'm going to start at that end point and I'm going to draw my line until I get to the 5. Wow. 5 inches is very different from 5 centimeters. Remember, inches, and I dropped my centimeter. I don't know where it went, but that centimeter, remember, is a tiny little measure. Tiny space. Okay, draw a line that is 7 inches. Make sure you're using your inches. I'm going to start over a little bit further to make sure I can get it on the page. I'm going to start here and draw all the way over till I get to 7 inches. And now draw a line that is 7 centimeters. So I'm still going to start over here so that it's easier to compare the two. I'm going to try to start at about the same spot, but I'm only going to go to 7 centimeters. Look at the difference. Inches and centimeters. So Takesha drew a line 9 centimeters long. Damani drew a line 4 inches long. Takesha says her line is longer than Damani's because 9 is greater than 4. Explain why Takesha might be wrong. So Takesha's line is 9 centimeters long. Damani's line is 4 inches long. We can actually compare them on our ruler. Here is 9 centimeters. And then the space between these two numbers here is 1 inch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 inches is actually a little bit longer than 9 centimeters. But 9, she's right, 9 is the bigger number. So why is Takesha's longer? I mean, why is Damani's longer? Why is Takesha wrong? Well, Takesha did 9 centimeters. Damani drew 4 inches. So 9 is greater than 4, but they're not the same units. You can't compare numbers of different units. Inches are longer than centimeters. And if at some point you're not sure how to write some of those words, remember that it is right there You can't compare numbers of different units. Inches are longer than centimeters. So I can't say, well, this one is 7 centimeters and this one is 5 inches. 7 centimeters has to be longer than 5 inches because 7 is bigger than 5. We can see that it is not. 7 centimeters is shorter than 5 inches because inches are big and centimeters are small. The units are different. Can't compare it. So draw a line that is 9 centimeters long and a line that is 4 inches long to prove that Takesha is wrong. So here we go. Starting at our 0 point, going over to the 9, and trying to line them up pretty closely so that we can measure. Starting at our 0 point and drawing to the 4. This is 9 centimeters and this is 4 inches. Which one's longer? 4 inches. The number doesn't matter as much as the unit that you are measuring with. Thanks for working hard today, everybody. You can go back and review anything you may have missed. See you next time.